What is going on, guys? We are back on another video. Today we're doing another realistic style rebuild on Madden 22, and today it is the Green Bay Packers, my favorite NFL team, if you guys couldn't tell by the amount of times I mentioned them. But I will promise, this will be the last time I do a Packers rebuild for some time. I mean, unless Green Bay falls flat, which they could because they have a bit of a tough schedule early on. And, of course, I think it's going to take a while for the Packers to be good on offense, specifically because, once again, Rodgers doesn't do that whole preseason thing, that off-season training thing, the practices. They could suck early, and maybe that is my time to, do a rebuild of them with the official rosters where, EA could have these ratings and devs completely different. But other than that, we might not see another Packers rebuild from me for more than half a year. So, sure, I did a rebuild for this team maybe 3 or 4 weeks ago, but hear me out, okay? This is the closest to the real roster we have, as in that one I did draft Christian Watson, but I also got Treylon Burks, which, of course, we obviously seen that he went to the Titans for A.J. Brown. So, half A.J. Brown for A.J. Brown. I don't know. But let's take a look at the roster, of course. The Packers offseason was a bit of an interesting one, seeing as Devonte Adams was traded away. And at the time, I was thinking, not bad value. But after we seen what A.J. Brown went for, which I will admit, A.J. Brown is a good receiver. And, he's a good run blocker. And, of course, they did need to pay him, same as Devonte. But the age difference is massive. It is to be noted. Most receivers at 29 years old are not getting traded for as much as Devonte did. He was just that good of a player. But I still think even at 29, with the way he's playing, maybe as at least 2 or 3 more years of playing at that level, the Packers might have been able to get a little bit more. I think the fact that the Raiders traded Bryan Edwards means that Green Bay absolutely should have gotten him. I don't know if, once again, there was reports that the Packers wanted Waller, but the league blocked a trade involving Devonte and Waller. They I don't know why. Like, draft capital is capital, same as Waller is capital for draft picks. I'm not really sure why that's a thing, but I don't know if they would have traded him anyways, or maybe the Raiders said, oh yeah, the league said we couldn't trade him. We're not going to, we want Devonte, but we don't want to get rid of Waller. But yeah, long story short, Green Bay ends up with Christian Watson, but in a kind of bad way. I like Quay Walker. I do. I think you've heard this more times than not hearing it. Quay Walker is a great player, but when you talk about Green Bay's needs, was Quay Walker that need? I don't know. You probably could have just went, because I feel like Quay Walker is kind of like another one of those hybrid I gotta change Campbell to star, by the way. Maybe even superstar. But because he's one of those hybrid types, or they're trying to make him that hybrid type, I think it would have been better off if Green Bay would have waited on a true inside linebacker, or if they would... Ooh, actually, I got to add his contract, too. I forgot. This is the one player I forgot. I even have Jair on there. They could have just went for an actual edge rusher. I feel like they're going to want to use Quay as an edge rusher more often anyways. So it's a little bit of a strange one to me, but like I said, I think he's a great player, and I think he will be good. If I were to have... Once again, hindsight is 20/20, but at the time I did trade up for him in my Packers rebuild, and it was fair. I think I had him at 14 in the Packers rebuild, and he went at 18 or something like that. I would have either traded up for Burks, or I would have taken Devonte Wyatt at 22 and then wide receiver at 28, because the big thing about Watson is not only did you trade up for him, which cost those 2 second-round picks, which once again, hindsight's 20/20, all the linebackers could have went early second, which they kind of didn't. They could have landed someone great still in the late second. You don't get that fifth-year option with Watson because he wasn't a first-round pick. If you're looking at Watson as a developmental wide receiver, which he is, don't get me wrong, I think as far as where he would project on a normal team, it would take him a while to develop, but I still think numbers, purely numbers-wise, maybe not polish, he will probably have a pretty good season with Rodgers. It would not surprise me. And if he doesn't, he'll at least be he'll be like a young Deshaun Jackson. You don't need to necessarily know a whole lot. As long as you're running a straight line, you're bringing defenses back, right? You're moving them back, and that's really what Green Bay needs, which is why I have him as the number one, which is crazy to think. Lazard probably projects to be the number one I would say actually Watkins probably projects to be the number one, but how long-term is that? Like, he's always injured. His face is like, I came here to be the number one. You can see it right there. It's a tough situation. I will look at, talking about Jair, I said, last year, if it comes down to losing Devonte and Rodgers to keep Jair, I would do it just because I love Jair so much, and obviously he's just the longest-term player here as far as guys that can actually be here for almost another decade. He was obviously the closest one to it. Maybe Rodgers, but the way he's been, I wouldn't say playing, but the way he looks old as hell. This got to be like a 6-year-old pitcher at this rate. Like, my man's face is looking old. And, of course, he's talking about retirement and all this. And once again, Devontae's playing a position that doesn't last that long at a high level. And he's already, 5 years older than Jair. So, I really love that contract. But at the same time, you got to think about what this team needs. And Jair would still be there here another year anyways. Would having Devonte instead of Jair be more beneficial? Probably. But I suppose it kind of was out of their hands anyways. But yeah, we got the contract there for him. Devonte Wyatt, I think, is easily going to be a starting player this upcoming season. I don't know how he wouldn't be unless he's just somehow a bust. But I think he's an amazing pick. I don't think anyone had a problem with Devonte Wyatt as a Packer. I mean, unless there's people that think that Kenny Clark should still be doing it on his own on the interior. I don't know why you would think that, but yeah, Devonte Wyatt, the age is a problem. He's 24. It's not like a problem, but it's it's the downside. He is on the older side, but as far as being a pass rusher, he probably was the best pass rushing defensive lineman, interior specifically, of the draft. Jordan Davis is a great player, but he's not as good of a pass rusher as Devonte Wyatt. There's no doubt about that. And Devonte is actually a very good block shitter, and he's super smart and aware, so I really loved that pick. But like I said, I probably would have rather had him at 22 and wide receiver at 28, go for a linebacker late second, add a safety late second, and the draft would have probably been more complete and better in general. I don't care what the media says, but I will say the media definitely would have loved that more as well. But as far as the offensive line goes, they landed a ton of long-term steals. Rasheed Walker obviously projected to be a lot higher than he did. Probably projects more of a left tackle, but obviously we have David Bakhtiari, so we're just hoping maybe he goes to right. But Zach Tom, I think, has a very good chance of potentially starting at right tackle. Like I said, though, I do think the most logical thing would be to move Elton Jenkins to right tackle and play these guys on the interior, but I'm just going to play it like this. And, of course, that's kind of it. Robert Tonyan, the tight end, I don't know how long-term that is, but it's a good team. It's definitely a good team. Oh, I also got to change Rashaan Evans. Rashaan Evans. Oh, my God. Rashawn Gary. God damn it. Please like and subscribe so I can afford a brain transplant. Jesus, man. I'm all over the place. But yeah, this is probably going to be a quicker rebuild. We've seen the Packers dominate in sim a lot lately, but then again, I am the one that's controlling them now. I'm hoping it's a shorter one because that's kind of the reason why I'm uploading this, shortly after a different rebuild, because I want the rebuilds to kind of stand alone, the tougher ones at least. So I'm hoping this is a bit of a shorter video, and the next time I will be... Ooh, Wyatt has a chance at a breakout, though. Camp standout. If he became a superstar this early at 24, that would really counteract that age, specifically in Madden. Because once again, in real life, at 24-year-old, it sucks to be that old. But if he comes out the gate swinging as easily the best defensive lineman there, and, a 22-year-old takes a few years to develop, it's kind of the same thing. It really, you're not getting that immediate impact anyways. So, of course, how come we have so much cap? Don't tell me I actually turned the cap off or something. Because this looks like cap. I ain't gonna lie. Oh, did the Rodgers contract not save? Okay, I gotta relook at these contracts because apparently they didn't save. Jair saved. Rodgers didn't. That's a lot of money going his way. Yeah, his was kind of the only one that didn't save for some reason. It's gonna be a lot of money too. But the years saved, just not the guarantee for some reason. Yeah, I'd say the next time you see an actual rebuild, because once again, this is kind of gearing up to be more of a reload. I wouldn't say it's going to be over after 1 year, But if it is a year 2 rebuild, like a Super Bowl win, I probably will end the video there, you know? I don't want this to be some super long, like, Packers massaging video where I just talk about my favorite team all video. You know, I kind of already got all the things I wanted to say out, and at this point, I just, I just want to get some of the newer teams with, a lot of new changes. Like, this Packers team, it does look very different this year upcoming. I mean, the Packers defense projects to be easily a top 5, but once again, we've seen it. Wait, is he actually? Oh, no. Okay, damn it. But we've seen it in the past with Green Bay specifically. They've had great individual players, and as a unit, they suck. We lost to the Saints 42-10. Maybe it's not gonna be as quick as I thought. Oh, man. For anyone that's mad at some of the devs I gave, you can maybe argue that maybe Rashawn Gary shouldn't have been superstar. I don't think that's a fair argument in fairness, but keep in mind that, it's kind of just a guesswork thing. Devonte Wyatt, you might think I'm crazy, but they could give him superstar. I mean, he is a very talented player, and for a little while there, he was actually projected to move up, almost top 10, top 15. I mean, there's a lot of teams linked to him. Wait, what is this? I seen something about fired up. But speaking of that guy, Stokes, he could very easily well be a star dev next Madden. I would definitely expect it. If I had to bet on it, I probably would say there's a very good chance of it happening, and obviously he's going to be normal here for us, which is a massive kind of loss. I would trade off, Devondre's star for Stokes' star any day of the week. And what is happening here? When I take control of the Packers, you suck. But all of a sudden, why did I click this? We lost. And then all of a sudden I take control. It's like, oh, well, nope. But if I'm not them, it's 3 Super Bowls in a row. Don't worry about it. Oh, no, it's happening again, isn't it? It's happening again like last one. Alan Lazard became an X factor for his last rebuild, and he's got a chance to do it again. No shot, dude. I'm not going to change the scheme. I'm not going to change it. Let everything just live the way it does. 35-2. Yep, 35-2, as you expect. No! No, Lazard sold! No! He could have been an X factor again. No, dude. All right, negotiations. I'm not sure who we have to re-sign. Robert Tonyan. I don't know. Robert Tonyan was looking a little iffy before the season-ending injury, but I do think he's going to be one of those, like, he just seems like a Packer for life type of guy. But at the same time, I almost wonder if, like, there would be a team that's desperate enough. I know, like, the teams like the Jets have turned it around a bit, but they're still kind of on the developing side. Would they be desperate enough to pay him like a 3 or 30? That's his agent's, job to kind of evaluate that. Chris Barnes, another guy that could be, we are broke. Okay, this is, oh, damn it, Walker. Like these linemen, like the devs, I could be completely wrong on, but I think Green Bay did get a lot of value I wouldn't say for once, because they have done well, but a lot of media value, if you will. Like, a lot of the times, Green Bay grabs these linemen that the media hates, but they end up becoming starters and really good down the line. I think I read somewhere that Green Bay's draft outcome is way better than anyone's in the leagues based on projection. Like, the way it's viewed at the time versus how it turns out. Guys like Rashawn Gary, where people thought he was decent, and he was kind of projected somewhat high, but there was a lot of risk involved with him, and he was starting to fall, and people didn't know, and, he obviously so far is turning out to be a really good player. I feel like this time, though, media perception, the Packers drafted some linemen that people like. But as far as who we're going to re-sign, Green Bay would be in a really bad spot at tight end, which they have had that situation for some time anyways in real life. Tanyan's a good player here, though. 4 year 30, man, that's a lot to ask for. Sammy Watkins, I'm sorry, you're just too old. Chris Barnes is good. And like I said, Quay maybe projects to be an outside linebacker for us, but value is really good from Chris Barnes. If I can get him for a 3 year 13, which, he's pretty inconsistent in real life. I could see that being the case. I'd do it. I think they'd do it. Kurt Benkert, they really do like, and I think he's a cool dude, but it's a Madden rebuild. I'm sorry, Kurt. I'm sorry. I really don't want to let him go. I was actually so, I wouldn't say disappointed, but I was kind of mad when I I seen that his Packers franchise, he decided to stop uploading it on YouTube. I was actually watching that, which... I'm sorry, Kurt. You hurt me, and I gotta hurt you, man. Of course, Challenge Allen's so funny. It's like Christian... It's like, I want to be just like that Christian Watson guy who's played 7 games. So, obviously, the team, as kind of expected, did make a bit of a turnaround, and I did not go with a real-life class. Like I said, I think the CPU classes are a bit more fun. You can create better storylines anyways. Otherwise, it's kind of like a static rebuild. And, of course, at 7-3, we wouldn't have that high of a pick anyways. And, obviously, with my 3 choices of what focus I want to do, obviously, I decided to choose wide receiver. Also, I don't know what it is about the Rams, but they suck in sim lately. They're still going to beat us here, obviously. That's beside the point, but... Why do I click on these? This never happens. It, never happens. All right, this is a massive week. Christian Watson. You know what? We're going to do it in a more fun way. We're going to look this way. Oh, Christian Watson's at 1,000 yards already. He could have gotten it. Oops, wrong thing. Come on, Christian. 150 or 3 touchdowns. Oh, that's not looking good. It's not looking good. Damn, not even close. I saw 42-7. I'm going to click it anyways just to see if the game's broken. Please tell me it doesn't give it to us. Thank God. Because then I would have, exposed the game again. And the worst part of that, I'd have to start looking at every single breakout. And I just couldn't be bothered. I just edit out of the video and pretend like it didn't happen. Oh, another breakout. We got it. But yeah, I'm pretty sure all that stuff has been fixed. But you can see the division. The Lions at least giving it a go, as the rest of the division sucks. Minnesota, please don't get... I was about to say, please don't get all, proud on us now, as we have a chance at a freaking bye week here. Sammy Watkins, Alan Lazard. I mean, Green, once again, Alan Lazard does seem like a Packer for life as well, but I mean, unless you're really looking for a payday, a pay cut anyways, I don't know. His face also looks kind of bad, so that's a good reason to get rid of him too. Man, losing Lazard would suck, but I paid Tanyan, which... I mean, if you're going to choose one or the other, I definitely would choose Lazard in game. Real life is a 50-50. Once again, I think Tanya still has a huge, I wouldn't say ceiling, but he's still got a chance to be really good for us. Colin Kaepernick. Come on, man. He's not playing football anymore. Ooh, I kind of want to allow it, though. Seattle, though? I kind of want to allow it. I'm not going to, though. I'm not. I feel like if it was going to happen, it would have happened already. If you got Drew Lock as your starting quarterback and Colin Kaepernick isn't getting calls from you, I mean, it's a GG for this man, I think. But yeah, let's get to the Packers potentially winning a Year 1 Super Bowl. Let's first take a look at not the playoffs. Let's forget about that. The regular season, obviously lost 3 games out of the first 4, and I was thinking, uh-oh, we'll say that could happen in real life, too. It's an even tougher schedule than this in real life. Well, yeah, it is. It is. Of course, it helps that the Bears and the Vikings suck in Sim, apparently. But that's a lot of wins in a row. What was it, 13 wins in a row? That's pretty crazy. Christian Watson led the league in yards and touchdowns. That should put him at superstar. Rodgers, 45-15, 40 touchdowns, 11 picks. I will say, if I were to guess how Rodgers' season's going to go, I would say definitely worse than that. Touchdown a pick. Well, maybe a little bit less yards, just because... The Packers probably will run the ball a ton. Of course, Kylan Hill being healthy, he showed something in preseason too. They could have an insane rushing attack. Looking at receivers, Alan Lazard. Oh man, getting rid of him with that kind of season is going to be hard. Of course, Christian Watson, 1,400 yards, 15 touchdowns. Cobb staying healthy for more than 7 games will be pretty cool. Robert Tonyan, same thing. Watkins didn't play. I'm just going to say that he got injured after week 1. That's his week 1 game. Aaron Jones should have more receiving yards than that. But looking at the O-line, pretty good performance. I mean, even Zach Tom with 11 sacks allowed is, pretty good for Sim. Preston with 8.5, 19 for Rashawn, 5 for Kenny Clark, 3 for Devonte Wyatt, super disappointing with only 10 tackles for a loss, 2.5 sacks. 7 picks for Devondre and Jair. That is insane, dude. What else do we have? Where's Enagbari? There he goes. Not really playing much, though. What about... oh, yeah, I didn't even play Toure. We got a lot of wide receivers. Dubs didn't play. Toure didn't play. It's a lot of wide receivers just, In real life, they're probably going to rotate a lot. I just, in game, you can't really do that. We could have had 6-6-6-6, but instead we decided to go 6-6-6-7. Thank you. That was close. It was a close call. MVP of the league goes to Tom Brady with Rodgers at number 4, Jonathan Taylor at 2, and the Keebler Elf at number 3. Oh, God. Tom Brady, the best player in the NFC side. Obviously, Eric Armstead, Defensive Player of the Year. That's got to be a new one. That's got to be a new one, right? Justin Fields, Rookie of the Year. If the team around him could play better, he would have a really good year too, but I just think Justin Fields is still doomed to fail, at least at this point in time. I just don't think the Bears are doing enough to put talent around him, specifically on that offensive line. Christian McCaffrey, they actually got worse on the offensive line, didn't they? I just had to, once again, like and subscribe. I need that surgery. Christian Watson, number 1 wide receiver, with Alan Lazard at number 7. O-line, number 1 and number 6. D-line, nowhere to be found. Linebacker, number 1. DB, number 2. Really? Where was, where's Devonte? Number 5. Preston, number 6. Like I said, that defense projects well, and they projected 3rd overall, it seems, based on the yards. What about the touchdowns allowed, or points allowed, I suppose? Yeah, the offense looking good. Number 4 and 4, right? Wow, number 4 and 4 and 3 and 1. That's pretty impressive. Let's see what they can do. Divisional round, obviously, is where they lost last year. This time going against the Falcons. I mean, the Falcons have done well in sim, but realistically, this shouldn't even be close. But we'll see. We'll see. All right, going to the end of the game. Atlanta moving down. They do not get the extra point. I love how they missed an extra point. They showed Mason Crosby. They're like, this guy has some kicking issues too, if you want to bring him up. But of course, Atlanta putting up some points here. Obviously, it's all tied up now. Down by 7. Green Bay trying to bounce back. Can't. And they get the field goal. I'm getting Green Bay versus Buccaneers vibes here. And on 3rd and 10, Green Bay will have a chance. I would love to see Rodgers do this himself. But I'd also love to not have him choke. So I might come in and play this instead. Is that Randall? Is that Randall Cobb? Vintage Randall Cobb? Trying to put the dagger into the game. Huge play to the 32-yard line. I mean, this is all Madden. You guys seen me many times, maybe too many times, choke. Yet, you can see here we are. Christian Watson, not crazy great route running, but you know what's crazy great? The gunslinger ability. It is so busted. It's unbelievable. And they're going to leave Christian Watson open again, and it's a touchdown. He's too fast. Man, gunslinger is busted. How anyone allows Gunslinger to be in their franchise league is beyond me. That is crazy. That is so busted. Rodgers outperformed by Cam, literally, and without our help by a ton. Like, that's insane. Jones, 94 yards. Dillon, 42 yards, but 4.2 yards per carry, probably against the stack box, like usual, with 2 touchdowns. Really impressive. Watson, pretty trash, because he got a lot of yards off of us there. I mean, who even performed on this team? Looks like the lack of receivers is really hurting this team. They only got the win because we came in. Quay Walker. Of course, we were joking about it, but I guess not. 2 missed field goals in a game that was only down by 4. Love it, dude. Thank you, Mason. The special teams continues to be an issue in Green Bay. And I mean, before last year, it was a huge issue. I mean, before the playoff game, it was a huge issue. People seen it all year long, and I guess Green Bay didn't. I don't know what to tell you. I mean, yes, Rodgers didn't play well. Yes, the offense was a little iffy in general. But they did enough to not lose that game. The special team said, you know what? We got you. Don't worry about it. You want your team to go into total disarray? Here you go. As soon as we lost that game, I was like, well, there's my fun as a Packers fan over. I was like, Rodgers is gone. Devonte could be gone if Rodgers isn't there. You know, it's a GG, but I'm surprised to see Rodgers actually stick it out. Maybe the rumors are true. Maybe he is going to take the money and run. All right, going to the end of the game. Dallas driving down, gets nothing. We drive down, get nothing. Drive down, get nothing. And then we get 3. They drive down, get nothing. We drive down, get nothing. They drive down, get nothing. We drive down, get 7. That is the most empty drives I've ever seen. 17-7. Green Bay's defense holding on tightly. And they are going to be able to do it, holding this really good Cowboys offense to technically 13 points against their former coach, Mike McCarthy. Relax at the Go Pack goes. I'm trying to talk here. Please stop. Stop. Rodgers with 3 picks. Dak with 3 picks. Touchdowns, 3 for Rodgers. Rushing, they had 1 with Zeke. Zeke got locked, dude. I'm telling you, this Packers defense, they're legit. They're too legit to quit. Don't let it be Diggs that got a pick. Don't let it be Don't let it, damn it. Of course, kicking Mason Crosby was pretty good here. Josh Lambo, not so good. We had a Jaguars rebuild where we brought him back, and let's just say we wish we didn't. Not super great, it seems. A lot of good upgrades here. Sheesh. But just like that, we're in a Year 1 Super Bowl going up against the Indianapolis Colts, a team that is also kind of peculiarly built, if you will. A team that's really good on defense and will be relying hard on the ground game, just like this team, really. The Colts are one of those teams that could be sneaky good. Christian Watson, I would imagine this means he's superstar now, and he is. That is broken. Alan Lazard also goes to star development trait. Might not matter as much, though, because, I mean, we're just not probably going to keep him. Defensively, Devonte Campbell with superstar development trait. Amos with superstar development trait. No star dev for Stokes, which is, I mean, he definitely doesn't have me stoked. If you got him. But yeah, Amos, who's obviously a guy that's kind of projected next to be, I wouldn't say let go, perhaps, but just not re-signed. Could get a re-sign from us if we can somehow afford it, because that superstar dev definitely allows him to play longer. But looking at these two teams, Stephon Gilmore and Jonathan Taylor, I don't know if Philip Lindsay would be here like real life, but up 1 overall on them. This could be an upset. I'll tell you what, if we lose, it'll definitely make me upset. Colts driving down, get a touchdown. I mean, you see how many runs there were there. They got a touchdown. They got 3 next. It's 10-0. Nice drive for Green Bay defense, kind of setting that one up. Same thing there as they're now up by 4, now down by 3, down by 6. It's not looking good. It's not looking good at all. Defense holds. Slow it down a little bit. Watch this one out. And Green Bay will get the touchdown. Only down 2 now. Colts running down with that ground game. Potentially going to clock it. And 3rd and 4, a knockdown and a missed 58-yard field goal. Green Bay just needs 3. They looked okay to do so, and they are going to hit it. 1 minute left. Of course, Green Bay's got to keep it close. And with 41 seconds left, I don't even know how you would play this. I think you have to be aggressive. Got to come with 4 players. I'm going to play as Dean Lowry because he's going to have no chance to succeed. They're going to run the ball, which I don't know if I agree with. I think you throw it there and get a little closer. Of course, on this, you got Rico Gafford, who I don't know if he would be a block specialist. I know they moved him to corner recently, but I'm going to let the AI do it because I don't know if I'm going to play a factor and the game will break because of it. I'll play the other side. I don't think you can actually block it on the other side. And he misses! Green Bay wins by 1! What a game! Wow, Rodrigo kind of sold them down. I mean, the nerd jokes would be flying. They already would be, but they would fly harder than ever. Of course, running the ball. Makes sense. We're going to take the realism right out of this game. I'm just going to throw it up because I want to have fun. Watson's actually going to come away with that. No way! Oh my god, I'm not going to score. This is all Madden, folks. That was all Madden. That's crazy. And because this happening in real life does not have the greatest of chances, I'm going to watch a tiny bit of it. All right, that's enough. That's back to reality, folks. Of course, looking at Rodgers, another really bad playoff performance, man. Oh, God. Looking at the rushing numbers, I mean, kind of good from a lot of players. Watson had a really good game without us. I mean, that play was maybe like a 50 or something like yard play. What was the long on that? 54. So he still would have had over 100 yards. Huge contributor to that game. Defensively, we had a sack from Preston, and that's pretty much it. Both of their players had picks. We had none. Rodrigo missing 2. Obviously, Mason Crosby also missed 1, but at least Rodrigo's were long range. But the Green Bay Packers are world champions, and I did want this to be a shorter one, but I think I will go for at least another season. If we win the Super Bowl, call it there, and if we don't, we'll do one more. We'll do 3 seasons max, just so it's not like a super, super short video. Like I said, though, I think in real life, the chances of this happening aren't the greatest. I think last year was their best shot. They did retain a lot of players. It's just the one they didn't was probably the biggest, because even with Devonte, they had a need at wide receiver, and now they easily have the worst wide receiver room in the league. I'm trying to think. The Bears are close, but I just think Green Bay right now, because Watson's going to be lacking the polish most likely, they're the worst team in the league at wide receiver. And even though you got Rodgers, I still think it hurts when you have not only bad receivers, but you don't have any pure route runners. That's the huge issue. Like, you know, I don't know why Green Bay didn't go for Bryan Edwards. I'm not saying he's the greatest route runner in the world, but he would have been a nice, another big option to, you know, throw to. I don't know. I worry. I worry. But let's move on. So we're not as broke as I would have thought. We have like $6 million. Not going to be enough to sign any player, unfortunately, anyways, but at least we do have a little bit of money. Lazard, like I said, I think this is going to be one of our most unrealistic moves, is not retaining him just because of how good of a run blocker he is, even though in game he sucks, but obviously real life-wise. But we're going to let him go. I suppose it's, I wouldn't say for the best, but it just had to happen, I guess. We just kind of ran out of money, and as far as Madden goes, tight end's a lot harder to replace than it is a wide receiver, and even just looking at the wide receivers, you know, Toure would be a great guy to potentially come in as the number 2. Cobb, man, I just feel like he's going to retire. Like, I mean, he's kind of getting free paydays with Green Bay right now, because honestly, I just don't know if he makes a roster other than veteran minimum. I mean, he's going to stick around for us, I guess, because he's an okay number 3, but I would like to develop Amari Rodgers, even though I think he was really bad in his rookie year. It doesn't mean he can't be good. Dubs, obviously, is a little bit of an older wide receiver. Toure would probably be the guy I would want to develop the most just because of him being younger, but yeah, I don't know. I think you just draft wide receiver in round 1 and call it there. Free agency is not going to matter because we just can't afford anyone other than maybe like a punter kicker in case we need one, because I mean, maybe Crosby retired, still here, but is that guy's name real? It looks like a racist way to say hallelujah. I ain't gonna lie. It's like the way Medea would say hallelujah or something. Like, it's just Hajruya. I'm sorry. How do you say his name? Hajrulahu. Oh yeah, it's not even close to hallelujah. I'm just an idiot. I don't know who Cade York is, but I'm going to bring him in on a 1-year, $1.8 million deal. And as far as that goes, I think that's all we can afford to do. Damn it. We broke. So D-line for Dean Lowry, most likely. And then that's kind of it, right? Like wide receiver, you can't really add anyone here. I think in real life, Green Bay's got to give like a 1-year 10 to Julio or something. They need a true X receiver. I don't know if Odell has it with how long it's going to take him to come out and play. It's tough, dude. It's tough, but let's move on. As far as a rebuild standpoint goes, we can't afford to do any of that, so I'm just going to ignore it. Bring in the new kicker, and that's basically it for free agents. Just got to go for some rookies now. So I know how much Rashawn Gary goes for usually, and it's a lot of money, so we are obviously going to be picking up that 5th-year option. Hopefully that doesn't completely cuck us in the future, but it probably will, to be honest. Another 5th-year option, probably savage. This would be a no, because we can get him back for probably under 10 per. So obviously pick 32. Houston with the number 1 overall pick goes with another corner. Really? Quarterback to the Giants makes sense. Cornerback to the Jets makes sense. The Eagles wide receiver, probably not the hugest need anymore. Tackles to the Lions, probably not the biggest need anymore either. The Vikings, maybe it is finally time for QB. Running back, that is laughably bad by EA. Quarterback makes sense for Washington, I suppose. Wide receiver for Raiders, couldn't hurt. Right end for the Chiefs, constantly working on the defense. Patriots need a lot of things now. Left end for the Cardinals, might be losing J.J. Watt soon. Jags need a lot as well. Tackle for the Eagles, maybe right tackle if Lane's kind of on the regression or he's getting older. Browns need wide receiver. linebacker. I mean, a lot of these moves do make a lot of sense. Just going to go down until, I was just about to say until one of the wide receivers goes. That is a bit early. Getting real life vibes out here now. I will say I like Jose Randolph just as much. He's a little bit more rough, but 6'2", 4'2", giving me those Treylon Burks vibes, maybe a bit faster actually, but B medium, A short route. We need route runners. He looks pretty good. I mean, what about the other guys we had? So Eddie Richardson, once again, looking for the bigger body guys, very much so worse in athleticism. What else? Blades is also decent, 6'2", B release, he catching traffic, decently fast with that size, but obviously a lot less polished. Wide receiver is a massive need for us. I mean, I guess it's probably time to put our money where our mouth is. We're talking about real life. I'm trying to think of teams that need wide receiver, though. The Panthers kind of could. The Saints don't, so I can definitely go with them. But you can also argue, like, see, any of these teams could grab wide receiver because there's no such thing as having too many wide receivers. But realistically, I can move all the way to the Broncos. But 32-19, it's costly, but it's not, like, unaffordable. So I don't know if the Saints would be willing to do this. I don't even think they have a first-round pick this year anyways, but they've been kind of going for, make the plays now to be good now. But pick 32, 160 this year, and then second-round pick 61 next year for pick 19. And we're hoping for the best because we absolutely need another wide receiver. I mean, even if we had Lazard here, still I would be wanting another wide receiver, but we don't have him, so obviously that makes it even more important. Jose Randolph is going to be my guy, and he's normal dev. Course 92 speed, 91 excel, 95 agility. He is 21, though. That sucks, but he does look pretty good. Like, just based on what we could see, he looks good. It's just, man, if he was hidden, that would have been freakily good. All right, going to move to pick 32 in the second round now. There was a couple of DNs that I really wanted up there, but we just couldn't do it. It's just too costly of another trade-up. We already lost our second round next year. Just we can't afford that. Center is up there. Strong safety. This guy looks pretty decent as well. I kind of want both. Who did I have? Oh, my DT's gone, dude. I was kind of hoping my DT was there. Yikes, we did not fill the interior at all, but I suppose Mark Hewitt is going to be our choice. I think Josh Myers in real life could be decent. Let me look at Josh Myers real quick, first things first. Because I think Josh Myers in real life could be decent. Oh, did I back all the way out? Damn it. It's just in-game, he's normal dev and old. He's 77 overall. He is a power blocker. It's just lead block impact. He's not super athletic. I don't know, dude. Oh, man. I'm going to try to grab that center, and if he's really good, I might actually just trade off Josh Myers for like a late third. Like I said, I think in real life he's got potential, but Mark Hewitt, hidden development trait, star or better, 21 years old, 88 strength. He's literally already better, and he's 3 years younger. I know it's interdivisional, but we've seen crazier trades than this as of recently. We give up a fourth-round pick this year and Josh Myers to the Bears for 66. Definitely a bad value for us, okay value for them. Just bad value compared to where Josh Myers was actually drafted, obviously. And with this pick, we're actually going to take a safety who could be the future replacement for Amos. Hidden development trait, normal. 89 speed, 88 excel, 90 agility. He's okay, but yeah, another normal kind of sucks. Hopefully his overall is good. Hidden, yeah. Way to call that one out, because he's not. He's just not. So we have pick 32, and then our next pick is in the 6th round. So this pick needs to be good. What about Bozeman? I put him on my list, but I don't know how actually good he is. F lead block for a guard, though. B pass block power. C run block power. Very athletic. That's a hard pass. We're going to take a look at the tight end now. We could use tight end. 6'6", 273. You can see he's very athletic for his size, but I don't think we have a whole lot else on him. B run block finesse. B spec. He's not bad. Then you have the two wide receivers. How good are they? Larry Blades. I think you're going to have to develop the guy we have, and I think we have so many good number threes that it's just... Ooh, he catching traffic, though. Bruh. Why did I go wide receiver in the first round? A catching traffic. This guy could be a gem. I can't. I'm going to go with the guard. Screw it. Alani Bozeman is going to be the choice. And he's hidden. Okay. I know linemen are a lot easier to draft these days, but still, that is a very nice pick. I really want to see what that wide receiver is like. I just think I know all of our guys are normal, and there's some of them are on the older side, but I just think we have too much talent, or just too much wasted talent, if you will, at those positions. And before we do that, let's take a look. Ash, not terrible. You could probably develop him unless he's just absolutely buns. And then John Blake, D-release. Yeah, I don't know about that now. But the best kicker available, Nate Bishop, B kick accuracy with great kick power, and he has 94 kick power normal dev. Might even project to be the starter, especially if we save money getting rid of Crosby, which we probably do. I'm going to go with a fast tight end who actually has B catching. He's an undrafted projected, but we're going to grab him here. 83, oh, he's not fast at all. 83 speed, 83 excel. Wasn't it a 4.57? It's pretty harsh for a 4.57. But looking at the draft, okay, so a 74 overall. Not bad, right? Aggressive possession, run after the catch. The catching, or the jumping sucks. And so does the injury, stamina, toughness. But if you ignore those, which we kind of do in Rebuild, he's actually not terrible. 82 short routes, really good. 78 medium routes, really good. 73 deep's not bad. 81 catches, great. 75 catch in traffic, could be better. But 79 release, this guy looks good already. Wearing number 13, which is... I mean, that's kind of something. Mark Hewitt, of course, hidden development trait, automatic starter at center. Literally looks better than Josh Myers straight out the gate, and he's way more athletic. 72 overall for McCray. 77 zone coverage. I mean, sitting a year behind Amos might be good enough to start over him next year, especially if we can't afford to keep him, which we probably won't be able to. Of course, Alani Bozeman, 61 run block. That is brutal. I don't know what kind of dev these guys have, but that's really bad. 72 overall for the kicker, 94 kick power, 79 accuracy, and an elf ears. Tight end Guerrero, not a bad little backup, I guess. And then Eric Spencer, not a good quarterback, wearing number 20. So we took our wide receiver right after the Browns. Theirs was also normal. Same traits, way better jumping. Worse route running by a lot, but a lot better catching. This guy was, I would say, probably better. And then for the D-line, we had DeVoe. I'm not too mad that we didn't get him. He's not a bad player, has a lot of potential, but still not like crazy mad that we missed him. This was another one of them. Ben Spears, 84 speed, 88 excel at 304 pounds. The Bears landed themselves a stud. Let's take a look at his development trait. Wow, that is a good player. Holy crap, they killed it. And there might have been some other guys I don't really care too much. I kind of want to see the wide receiver now. Was this the guy? If I was known he was going to go that late, I would have went for him anyways. Of course, no possession catch, but pretty athletic. Really good short route. He's a good player, but yeah, he wouldn't have developed much faster than anyone else, so I don't hate it too much. Amari might be our true number 3. And even though it's hard to project real life because, Rodgers might cry if they get rid of Cobb again. I got to do what's best for the team here. Rodgers has that crazy guarantee. I'm like, hey, Rodgers, if you want to keep some of the other guys, we got to get rid of some of these old guys that just don't matter anymore. Crosby, I know you love, but he's gone. I also would imagine his dead hit would be like nothing now. I know we just had to beat them for the Super Bowl win, but Jordan Love to the Colts for a third-round pick. All right, so the squad hasn't changed too much in the terms of starters. Obviously, well, actually, I lied. We got the new center. We got the new wide receiver number 2. Sean Ryan maybe could be the starter at right guard, but John Runyon at the moment is going to hold that spot. 77 overall. If we have to pay him, we can't. We'll see, but some of these guys are getting into that close to needing payment kind of situation. Christian Watson, of course, developed really nicely year 1, 83 overall now. Still a little bit of a rough route runner, but good enough. Obviously, the big factor for him still is the fact that he's just a blazing speedster. As far as abilities go, recuperation, I'd probably say more mid-out. I actually know, is there anything deep in? Yeah, deep in, there we go. And then on the defensive side of things, D-line stays the same, linebackers stay the same. Everything actually stays the same, but we did add the new safety, to play backup for now and then maybe start for Amos next season, as once again, he's 29. He is superstar, but he's going to need like a 4-year, 40-plus deal, and I just don't know if we can afford that. That second contract's a hard one to get out, give out. It's tough. Ooh! Devonte Wyatt's kind of developing nicely for a guy that started at 24. Huge week, perfect chemistry. And we get it! The rookie, Jose Randolph, is star dev. That sucks, but still, at least he's star. Didn't get to superstar, but it's all right. And Eric Stokes is star. That is easily the biggest one so far of this rebuild. My bad, reload, if you will. Of course, re-signings. This is where things are going to get a little ugly, in my opinion. 3 names. Hopefully, we can at least afford 1. That's what I'm hoping for. And it appears we can probably afford 2, which, I mean, just based on money alone, I don't hate the Amos contract, but just based on the age alone is what I meant to say. You obviously keep Savage at actually 10+ mil per year, which I'd say is kind of fair. It's the verdict's still out on him. He's definitely an average player at least, maybe slightly above average, but can he take that next step to become properly elite? I don't know. Of course, in-game, I'd say he's easily on par, but in real life, I don't know. Seen some up and down things. I do like him a lot, though. Kind of sold the season a little bit, but still, of course, good. Oh, NFC's that bad to where 11-6 is the freaking bye week? Really? Oh, wow. Yeah, the AFC's much better, which I suppose at this rate, in real life, it actually is kind of true, but okay, we'll take it, obviously. We'll take the bye week, I suppose, but that was a bit surprising. That definitely a little surprised by that, not going to lie, but take a look at the season, of course, really good start, and then we started losing some games in there. Really did not have the best of finishes, losing 3 of the last 5 games, of course. But got some dev-ups, got some pretty good seasons in general. I like what I'm seeing, although Rodgers, maybe not like what I'm seeing. 18 interceptions, that's bad. Of course, a lot of touchdowns for the rusher, the running back, so it kind of makes it a little bit tougher to see. If Rodgers would have had 10 more touchdowns, 45 touchdowns, 18 picks is not bad, but 35, it is. Of course, we had 3 1,000-yard receivers, including Amari Rodgers. Tunyon, not bad. Ran off the best of the receivers based on yards and catches, but, per average, it was Amari Rodgers and Christian Watson. Touchdowns also go to Watson in that regard. Blocking, amazing. Zach Tom is playing insanely well. Of course, looking at the sack totals, Rashawn Gary with only 9. Really bad timing for him as he needs a contract. If he doesn't have a decent season to start next year, we might be a little hesitant. Of course, Devonte Wyatt with 9.5. Huge jump this year. 10 for Preston Smith, 8.5 for Kenny. Pick totals a little down. Of course, Amos with 5, but, it's nothing we can do, pal. The rookie Bishop, rest in peace, Mason Crosby. 13 for 14, not bad. Toure, the return man, doing okay in that regards. Number 1 in offensive yardage, Donald the MVP. It is not common you see a pass rusher win it, especially Donald. Usually if it's ever going to be a pass rusher, it's like TJ Watt, but okay, that's interesting. That's a new sighting. Any other awards? Who do we even have as a rookie? Oh yeah, wide receiver. Number 4, a little surprised. We've won Rookie of the Year with like a backup running back getting like 500 yards, 11 touchdowns. Our wide receiver is actually pretty decent. Running backs, number 9 for Aaron Jones. Wide receivers, number 6. O-line, number 1. Number 6. D-line, Wyatt, not on the list, unfortunately. Linebackers, Preston at 5. Gary at 7. DB, Amos at 4. Stokes at 10. The Rookie of the Year kicker. Kicker of the year was a rookie. I don't remember. I think we won the game we played against them, but Washington only an 8-9 team. They are an 86 overall, though, but I'm not saying this is a guarantee, but you gotta win this, right? Come on, Green Bay. Win this, please. 7-0, not a bad start. Defense, of course, is really good, and Washington's offense, I don't know how good it is. Can't imagine it's great, though. 14-0 at the half. 21-0, locking them out so far. It's going to be a shutout, potentially. It might be a shutout. It is not going to be, but, it might as well have been. It was a very late push. 35-7. Rodgers finally playing good in Sim. Of course, we locked down Kai Choice, who if you glanced at, he was a top 3 performer, at least for passing yards. Did not play well there. Rushing, Dillon took the carries. Gibson got locked. Randolph was pretty good. Watson was pretty good. Tanyan with the touchdowns. Defensively, sack totals, nothing really to show for. Picks, McCray, the backup safety, and Joey Sly with a missed kick. Not that it would have really mattered, but they didn't get that touchdown. I suppose the shutout could have been real. Ooh, a Dallas Cowboys game. Who do they actually have to play to get there? Because, they had to beat 2 teams, right? Oops, wrong one. Where are they? Not the Vikings. They've done nothing in Sim. Speaking of the Vikings and the Panthers, they smoked them too. This could be a loss. This could be the sender to year 3. This could be the year 3 sender. Of course, we are a 3 overall better than them team, but I don't like it. All right, going to the end of the game. Let's see it. Dallas gets 3. We get nothing. Defense holds up. We get 7. Defense gives up 3, but that's okay. Offense gets 7, up by 8 right before half on a field goal. Huge run to start the second half. 24-6 now. It's plenty of time, and no, there isn't, as Green Bay is going to put it away 38-20. Wow. Rodgers kind of got, I wouldn't say carried. He was very efficient, just didn't put up the yards. Running backs, they did pretty damn well, in fairness. Zeke did okay, but Pollard, who's still there, not super great. Cole Beasley returns to the Cowboys, looking crazy good there. 4 for 15 with 2 touchdowns. That's got to be one of the strangest, stat lines I've ever seen. Maybe a tight end, but a wide receiver. Of course, 3 sacks for the D-line. Of course, Rasul Douglas and Jair with picks. I feel like I haven't mentioned Douglas at all in this, but hey, if you don't show up, what can I do, The Baltimore Ravens in the Super Bowl. That's an interesting one. Let's take a look at our overalls. Maybe a couple of dev-ups. None on offensive, fortunately. I think, really, Amari, though, didn't go to star? Now, that's a bit surprising. That's a bit harsh as well. Defensively, Stokes, superstar. That's pretty big, actually. A little bit of a disappointment. Acrobat, though, that's kind of juiced. Of course, he kind of is an acrobat, right? He's an athletic freak. But, yeah, would have loved to see one of the wide receivers go up again, especially Amari, but okay. 11-6, Ravens team, 85 overall. Not the best team we faced. Could this be back-to-back? I'm kind of prepared to say it could be, but it won't be. But I don't know. We'll see. 3-all, second quarter, pretty close game. 17-3, defense is holding up really well. 20-3, halftime. Ravens running down nicely, but they can't finish it. And on the coattails of that defense, Green Bay is going to win back-to-back Super Bowls. That is a team. This kind of scenario is the only way Rodgers has any sort of argument for greatest of all time, because Brady, while Rodgers as a pure passer might be better than Brady, you just can't argue those Super Bowls. It's literally inarguable. But you win back-to-back, and you stick around, maybe even win 3 in a row. 3 in a row Super Bowls absolutely trumps, even if you had 10 Super Bowls, 3 in a row, that's historically, that's never beatable, right? But if you win, 7, 10, whatever it is, it's in different years, it could be considered, we can maybe argue some luck, which, I think we can. But 3 in a row, there's no luck involved. That's just pure dominance. And hopefully the NFL doesn't try to sue me or copyright strike me. But of course, Rodgers, pretty good performance. But Lamar Jackson, maybe should have stuck to running back. Lamar's a running back, lol. Of course, a lot of interceptions there. But we've seen last year, Rodgers had a lot of interceptions. So even more than that. As a total average, Kenny Clark carried. Of course, if you look at that Ravens offensive line, you probably would think the interior would be, I suppose, their weak point, if you will. So Kenny Clark clutching up hard. We had 3 interceptions, 2 for the edge corners or the boundary corners. Just a really good performance. It also helps that Bishop was a much better kicker than freaking Mason Crosby. But I suppose, that was our goal. We said we wanted to win a Super Bowl within the first 3 years, and if we did it in the first year, we would go for, that dynasty, and I mean, back-to-back Super Bowls, you can't really beat it. I mean, 3 in a row would be nice, but not really much more you could do, right? Back-to-back is good enough, especially in Madden Sim. You build the best team possible. 99's everything. It's not guaranteed to win the Super Bowl every year, but this isn't 99 everything. This is a very good team, but, I mean, I'd say there's some other teams that are very similar to us. Maybe it helps that we're playing in the NFC, but let's take a look at the players. So, Christian Watson, superstar development trade, 94 speed, 96 excel, 78 short route. You know what? We are going to do in this season. I want 3 in a row. I'm not going to look at it. I'm going for 3. I don't care. But I'm not going, well, unless if Rodgers retires here, which he might have actually, did he? If he retired, then we're done. Then we're out of here. No, he's not. Why did the morale was that high for this team? We went down 5 overalls. What do you mean? That's a lot of overalls to go down. We haven't even lost Amos yet. Really? I guess morale is pretty big, but okay. But negotiations, I imagine our money is even worse off. We'll see, but it's actually better off by a little bit. We actually can almost afford Amos, which it's so hard. We'll take a look. We'll see if there's anything we can do to keep him, because once again, this is the last season anyways, so it's hard to tell what you would do in real life, because if we go for Amos, there's 0 chance we keep Rashawn. But at the same time, do you view... Nah, even if you think... Unless you could literally say keeping Adrian is going to guarantee you yet another Super Bowl, I don't think you gamble on another Super Bowl to lose Rashawn Gary, who, even though he had a down year, has been godly. Free agency doesn't exist for us, so we're going to just pretend like it doesn't. I do want to see what it looks like, but I'm not going to sign anyone, obviously. Terry McLaurin, Lamar Jackson... Jeffrey Simmons, Adrian Amos getting an offer from the Eagles. Come on, Jacksonville, put that offer up. Get that offer up, damn it. Of course, you probably have to pay Dillon next season, which I don't know if we're going to be able to or not. Devin Bush could be helpful, but definitely not someone we're going to go for. I mean, we need a left end as well because we lost Lowry, but I think we can fill everything because realistically, we don't need a safety. We're just going to rock with what we got. He's a 75 overall. You know, had a pick in one of the games, I believe. Fair enough, right? We'll just let it happen. But defensive line, we absolutely have to get somebody. So we're going to move all the way to 32 to start this draft, as there was some decent DTs a little bit higher. There were 1 to 2s, but they were 23, which I know in real life, the team obviously here. They're still there, though. Hit. Oh, this guy's 21? I thought he was 23. Maybe we actually do go with that guy. I don't know, but obviously hit with the old man, Devonte. Really? Devonte Wyatt. I don't know who the hell Devonte is. Like Devonte and Devontre. We do have another guy, though. Falk. I can't tell because the DT that's there does look decent. Mr. Andrew Leonard. BBC, of course. Very athletic. Probably looks better than Falk, but at the same time, Falk does look good too, and he's a 2 to 3. I can wait on him. I can see B's across the board. A play rec. Is there anything that this Leonard guy, it shows that he's better at, on the back card, maybe? I mean, it doesn't show anything. He's got a D pursuit, a C tackle. I mean, I think you maybe move down to 10 in the second round and grab Falk. Philly's kind of giving us the best offer, so I'm going to take it. 38 and 102 to move up to 32, in which they take Andrew Leonard. That could be cool. I mean, they knew that was our positional need, so, I mean, if they wanted to get us off that spot on top of moving up, that is the best thing to do, right? But I'm going to go with Mr. Elton Falk. Please just be decent. He's hitting! That's a huge win, actually. 91 strength. 76 speed, 83 excel. He's kind of exactly what we needed. Now, what are those B's going to entail? I don't know. But that's what we needed. Absolutely. Not bad. This is actually, I was about to say, this is actually viewed as a very even trade with them slightly gaining more, but they kind of disagree. Can we do a 7th this year and just knock it out, or what's the story? 6 next year, I guess. But with this pick, we're likely going to be taking a linebacker just because there was a guy with a lot of value. Devondre is getting older. Obviously, Quay could project as an outside linebacker to fix, if Preston leaves or if we can't afford Rashawn. And then, of course, if you look at just in general, Chris Barnes, can we afford to keep him again after this contract is up, which is very close to being up? I don't know. So this linebacker just provides some decent depth and gives us some option, I suppose. Also do have Peter Barrow, though, which safety's not a oh, he's a little bit slower than I thought. The 4.57, I thought it was 4.52. Oh, well. But, yeah, Greenwood seems to be the best option. We're going to grab him. Greenwood, normal development trait, but once again, kind of like Quay, even though he's smaller, but same weight, kind of, just on normal dev, but insanely athletic. And then we're going to go to round 4, pick 6, and potentially grab one of those running backs. They're both bigger guys. I don't know if we can afford Dylan, who may need a contract. So, once again, just kind of thinking about the future a little bit here. 95%. 4.48 looks good. A stiff arm. I mean, that's going to be hard to beat. What do you have, Mr. Rice? What do you got to show for? Slower B trucking, which does intrigue me, but not as much as this guy does. 5'11", 234 with some athleticism. Hidden development trait as well. All right, so even if we wanted to keep Dylan, I think you probably have to let him go now. You're going to add a 4th round from Houston next year. Of course, this is the 4th round, so it's kind of betting on Houston to still suck, which I suppose is probably a good bet. Not a huge betting man, but if I were to bet that, I'd feel pretty good. And, of course, we're still going to get a 4th-round pick offer, which kind of makes no sense, but I'd rather trade to Tampa, as the Colts have literally been to the Super Bowl recently, whereas Tampa I don't feel like is as close. Going to go with a Wisconsin fullback, Jeff Baldwin. And then we're going to go with a wide receiver for Mr. Irrelevant. Where's my recap? Great. The recap just kind of skipped right over. Sweet, dude. Let's go for the ages. So 73 overall or 72 overall for Kerry Greenwood. Okay block shedding. Once again, insanely athletic. Okay coverages. Really good catching. Okay jumping for a rookie linebacker. Elton Falk, 74 overall. Hidden development trait. Automatic starter at, I believe, is it right end? Not bad. I obviously want to see his development trait. I also want to see how the Eagles guy looked. Obviously, we ended up getting a 4th-round pick. That didn't really matter too much. So if the other guy is better, then we're going to regret it. Star Dev, still is all right. What else do we have? We had someone else. The wide receiver is okay, it seems. The running back, 73 overall, 82 trucking. I mean, literally, like, even though he's wearing number 11, which is gross, literally A.J. Dillon, like... I mean, I'm sorry, AJ, but you might just be let go into free agency, which, I mean, it is what it is. I'm going to wear number 30. Respect Eddie Lacy a little bit. All right, the year 3 squad, the final team. Of course, I'm not going to change Rodgers' ratings because kind of had a bad year, ain't going to lie. But as far as the receivers go, about in 90 overall, pretty much. 89 overall for Watson, 83 for Tanyan. There's some holes, but of course, as far as how much money these guys are getting paid, the team is held up as well as possible, right? This is the year where we're kind of projecting to maybe lose some players like Rashawn Gary, but hopefully not. We'll see what we can do, and we're about to get into it, find out. Some would say that's a pretty good upgrade for zone for Stokes. 96 speed. We got a left tackle trying to retire on us. Is it going to be David Bach? I mean, it's kind of jumped the gun a little bit there. Let him retire. Honestly, as far as... rebuild sense, the smartest thing probably would be to force him to retire, but obviously it'd be really, really dumb for us to do that in real life or in, well, maybe not real life because, I mean, he's kind of been missing a lot of games, but in-game actually playing a superstar left tackle is just insane. But, of course, it's kind of potentially between David Bakhtiari forcing him to retire, letting him retire, or keeping Rashawn Gary, and it's kind of hard decisions to make, but we'll see, I guess. Also, it might be a little unfair, but I'm going to base Rashawn Gary's season on his contract, I suppose. So, who is this? Amari Rodgers, I suppose? But if he's not playing that well, he's kind of similar to last season. Maybe I only give him like 21 per versus like 25 per, 30 per that he's asking for. I think he usually asks for about 28. Damn, Amari Rodgers sold. Calling it quits. What do we got? I've been feeling a lot better recently. I mean, we're kind of like even. So we're 11 games in, and Rashawn Gary has 6 sacks, which puts him below par of 12. I don't think he's worth a $28.5 million deal. I'd be willing to do a 6-year deal worth 24 per, maybe. The question is, can we even afford that anyways? So we can afford his original contract, so I'm going to make it a 6-year deal worth 144. And then for the other re-signings, Dubs should probably be here for another year, I believe. Yeah, he should be here for another year at least. And then A.J. Dillon, a 4-year 20. I don't think he's a guy that would be like the primary starter anywhere, so that wouldn't be crazy wrong in real life, right? A $5 million per year. A.J. Dillon's a really good back. He might be worth a little bit closer to 7.5 maybe, but I mean, it's close enough to where I'll allow it. Preston Smith, I think he got to replace. Quay Walker might even be that guy. I think Quay has like 77 power move, which is okay. John Runyon, I think we've seen that guards, especially when they come from Green Bay, it seems kind of get paid. But at the same time, he's a finesse type blocker. I might actually let him go. I think I'm going to let him go. And then Rasul is absolutely worth that. A 1-year 5.2. Love it. And then, we got to give him another year. So, yeah, we have enough money for all the guys we wanted to keep, and they were all fair deals. And even if you wanted to say, oh, Rashawn would definitely get the 7-year 200, which he wouldn't. He wouldn't. It's just we could have afforded it anyway, so stop getting mad. Even after Man, we're going to have 12 mil left over, and we only saved 4.5 per, so we would have had enough money even after giving him the proper deal he was asking for. But he just wasn't worth it. But I also don't think he'd be complaining about a 6-year deal with an $86 million guarantee. We have also outplayed the original retirement thing, so he should still be here. Okay, there we go. All right, headed to the playoffs, and we finished really strong. We also beat the Raiders to make them tied with our record. I know it's a different conference, but still trading, I know that it seems like it's good terms. It's about as good a terms as I've ever seen between two sides when a player requests a trade. I suppose, Stafford of those kind of things, and he's a quarterback, so that's really hard to do. Which, speaking of, I actually like those commercials. What is it? Is it a T-Mobile commercial? It's whatever the commercial is with that chick. She's quite good looking. The commercial where it's like you keep your old phone that you loved for how many years and never regret another moment to get a new. I like that commercial. I like that a lot. Obviously speaking about his career with the Lions and then moving on to the Rams, but. Yeah, it's, still you'd want to beat the Raiders, right? Even if you're on good terms, kind of, you still want to beat them, right? Rodgers, 4,500 yards, 33 touchdowns, 15 picks. He's just good enough, but those aren't really Rodgers-like numbers. Dillon, absolutely underplaying, even 5 per. Christian Watson, really good. Randolph, not so great compared to last year. Amari Rodgers, he's the slot guy, I don't mind. Tanyan, a little bit down year. Same scheme and all, same team and all, outside of Amos. Yet, here we are with a down year. Of course, Rashawn Gary did pump those numbers up a lot. But even then, $24 million per is still really good. 13 for Clark, 7.5 for Preston. Down year for Wyatt with 5.5. Bishop was awful. Maybe that's why. Nah, it can't be. The whole team was kind of just bad. We still went 12-5, which was better than last year. So, I don't really know. But Nick Chubb's the MVP of the league. Kyler Murray. Any awards at all? Best lineman with Mr. Bakhtiari. And, we had a couple of awards I seen there glancing that we were kind of up there on, but didn't win any awards other than Best O-Line, so, I'm not super great, not super happy about that, but back-to-back years with the bye week, 3 straight years of the playoff berth, and the Niners, who we have struggled against mightily. Let's see if we can win this time. It's the same type of situation, too. Nighttime at Lambeau in the cold. Maybe it starts snowing. Who knows? The Chargers beating the Colts to end their chances of going to a Super Bowl again. Let's see it. Good drive. Can't finish. 7-0 for Green Bay starting this one off. San Fran ties it up. Green Bay takes the lead at half by 7. Almost had a chance to get even more points before then. 21-10. 21-18. 21-25. Green Bay driving, can't score. San Fran, 3-yard line Green Bay. They get it. Down by 3. San Francisco moving, gets the tie. Now this is a much better game, although it's not looking good. Okay, 3rd and whatever. 3rd and 3. Is Green Bay going to be knocked out by San Fran again? It could be the case. Oh, I'm stuck on Wyatt, who's actually a good player, but he didn't need it as Kenny Clark knocks him back 4 yards. I mean, this could be almost out of field goal range with a great individual play like that. That's crazy. Rasul, I mean, let's be honest, it's not a threat for the block, but is this still Robbie? That ball looks a little short, and it's in. That man, he's a freak. There's no way it's him. It's got to be a different guy. Yeah, it's Graham Gano. I was about to say, there's Graham Gano's shot that he's still in the league. I had to do it. I'm sorry. Let's see if Rodgers is going to choke. 3rd and 7. I mean, I don't want to come in. Like, I'd rather just watch the play, but, like, I kind of got to come in. I mean, I do this for every team. It's just, you know, I'm going to get more scrutiny over it because it's the Packers. And Tanyan, last second, that is a very clutch throw. 3 interceptions. Yeah, he's kind of choking. A lot of yards and touchdowns. I will say the narrative lately is Rodgers is too conservative, which I kind of agree with. You can't make that knack on this one, right? As Rodgers struggling there, and it's looking good. Green Bay will get the field goal. No way this... Oh, picked off! And the Packers win! I mean, you can make the argument that I had to come in and save him or whatever, but they did only tie it, which I would have obviously, if I was going to do it, would have been a touchdown. Probably. And then they got the stop, and then they drove for the touchdown, or the field goal. I'm just saying. I helped, but they still had to do it themselves. Rashawn Gary, dude. He's like, yeah, we're going to need to come back over those contract details and maybe slap some more money on there. I just intercepted a ball in the freaking playoffs, dude. Conference championship. It's Dallas again. How many times are you going to see Dallas in this? They're probably like, how many times are you going to see Green Bay in this? Of course, you can see they're still trending upwards. We're kind of stagnant. Another late-night cold one in Green Bay. Obviously, just weather-based alone, you'd be thinking, hey, Green Bay's got this one in the bag. But we'll see. Dallas, 3-7, still hanging in there. 7-6, 7-13. Green Bay, not looking so hot here. Up by 1 in the 4th. Dallas up by 7. Green Bay, 3 minutes left. Was that a first down? Rodgers sacked, 3rd and 19. I mean, you kind of have to view this as, I mean, you trust in your defense. Oh, my God. Did they get sacked again? No, they didn't. 3rd and 19. I want to see if they're going for this. They're going for 4th and 5. Are they going to convert? They do. And they throw a pick. That is a career statement for Rodgers. I know he won 2 in a row, but you throw a pick within the 10-yard line to have a chance to go to 3 straight. Obviously, it would be an overtime game, but go to 3 straight, having 2 interceptions, you can't argue that one. Like, that is the most anti-clutch you can get. Of course, Micah Parsons absolutely rectified us. I mean, he crushed us. Of course, kicking, we missed the field goal, which, I mean, might have made it a little bit less tense. But that is an unfortunate way to end it. But 2 straight Super Bowl wins and a 3rd to the championship in a row is still a damn good finish. Let's take a look at who wins the Super Bowl just for the hell of it. Had a chance at 3 in a row, couldn't get it, unfortunately. Rooting for the Chargers here, and I think they're probably going to lose, but maybe. And they do lose. Let's take a look at the team. Of course, the money's low, the morale's low, the regression's high. Mr. Christian Watson is an X factor. 93 overall, 95 speed, 96 excel. Short route sucks, but his medium and deep are insane. Great release, great catching. He's just a beast. Looking at his ability, first one free, which, I mean, I don't even completely agree with. He's actually very agile for his size. Jose Randolph, 86 overall, almost 87. Really good catching, iffy catching traffic. Decent medium, decent deep, good release. It's a very weird wide receiver, but he's good, obviously. Amari Rodgers, he's 79 overall. Didn't really get a chance to start fully, but he's an okay player. You definitely would love to see him actually, progress his short route, but sure. Aaron Jones, never got back to superstar, but still a really good player. 89 speed only, must have regressed actually like very recently, if not like right now. He did. But has that 86 truck, 87 stiff arm, 93 juke, 90 spin, 93 change of direction, very versatile back. I guess I'll look at Dillings. He's like a trucking beast. 89 speed, 87 excel, 93 trucking, 91 stiff arm. Rodgers, even though, regressing because of his age. 93 throw. He's still a really good quarterback, though, obviously. Still looking good. Tanyan, I don't really care about any of these guys. I guess we'll look at Zach Tom, and that's pretty much it for the O-line. Very good finesse blocker. Holy crap, he sucks at power, but damn. Defensively, let's see Quay Walker. He was kind of like a hybrid. I actually officially moved him in outside this last season because of the drafting of that. This guy's name is Wood in it or something. Yeah, Greenwood, that's the one. Quay Walker, outside linebacker. 78 power move, 74 block shed. He's got 73 zone. He's a good hybrid guy. Not great at anything, but good at a lot of things. Savage, 89 overall. Decided to keep him over Amos, which, kind of makes sense just because of age. Devondre, 85 overall, still at 31. That superstar dev was massive. Very good player still. We'll take a look at Jair, who's literally maxed. 95 speed, 99 man, 98 zone. He's a freak, dude. So good. Let's take a look at Stokes. 88 overall superstar. That's probably the best I've ever seen Stokes for us. Very fast, great man. Decent press, actually. Just got to get that zone coverage up. What about Mr. Kenny Clark? And then the last one is Devonte Wyatt. So Kenny Clark, great block shedder, okay power move. And then I would imagine the opposite for Devonte Wyatt, who has 93 power move, 74 block shed. I don't even know if he upgraded one time in block shed. I think I had him as a 77 power move, 74 block shed, or 73 block shed, one of the two. But either way, still an absolute specimen. What a freak. Absolute beast. And that's going to be it for the Packers realistic style rebuild. If there's anything you would have liked to see that, I could have done better, let me know in the comment section below. I guess one more thing I want to do is I want to see how Devonte has played post-Packers career so far. 40,000 on the dot. What are the chances of that as a rare? That did not help me at all. Let's 1 second. That didn't do anything for me. Really good first and second year with the Raiders, which is what is expected. And then the most recent year, maybe some regression. Really bad. Maybe an injury or something. I don't know. But yeah, if that happens in real life, I don't think Green Bay would be that upset. But I think the worry is if he puts up numbers that he just had in 2020 with Green Bay, and then obviously, technically 2021 numbers. Very good receiver, obviously, in Devonte, and I expect him to do really well, but we'll see. Obviously, the worry about Devonte is really not this upcoming season or the next one, probably, but, the year after when the age starts to hit him a little bit, see what happens. But I'd expect him to be great for a long time, so I just hope the Packers also win that trade. If Watson turns out to be a very good, an average or above average receiver, and same with Quay, it's not a win, but it's at least better than nothing. And yeah, that's pretty much it. If you guys enjoyed, let me know by leaving a like. Maybe subscribe if you're new. If you're not new, appreciate your continued support. Continued support actually does mean a ton to me. Obviously, maybe follow me on Twitter, Jeromepkr, which I just never post, it seems. And then maybe subscribe to the second channel, PKR Plays, which I uploaded a video yesterday. And then streaming maybe Saturday, if not 100% next week. 100% next week. I'm still trying to make sure that my Streamlabs is working. I got all the errors fixed, but I still don't know if I trust it. I want to test more recordings out because I've only done a couple recordings since fixing everything, and it seems good. It seems okay. But yeah, that's about it. You got any suggestions for what rebuild you want to see next? I might do Texans next on Sunday. We'll see. And, let me know in the comment section below. And that's about it. Thanks for watching. Hope you guys come back for next video. But until next video, see ya!